Hi everyone, it's Matt, and this is my morning monologue. All right, so I went for years, like maybe like 10 or 12 years or so, during my adult life without crying. And I've cried recently, like in recent years, like I've cried, like I've had like good sort of cathartic cries and stuff. And but there was a really long time when I didn't cry. Like I said, like maybe like 10 or 12 years or so. And one day I was like thinking about this. I was like, gosh, I haven't cried like in a long time. Like I don't remember the last time I cried. And so I ran into a friend of mine, my friend Rob, and I hadn't seen him in a long time, and he was like, "Hey, how's it going?" I was like, "Ah, good." And I told him, I said, "It's so weird, Rob." I was like, "I'm just thinking, like, I just occurred to me, like, I haven't cried in like 10 or 12 years, or maybe even more. Like, I have." And he was like, "Oh man, I cry every day." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I cry every day." And I was like, I thought like, oh wow, that's crazy, Like I was thinking like that's too much. Like there's got to be a happy medium. And but the thing is, like, I believed him, and I was like, really? I was like, you cry every day? He's like, yeah, I cry every day. I was like, do you get sad? Like every day, do you get like really sad and start crying? And he's like, oh, no, not necessarily, but like I set aside time every day. He said I set aside like 15 minutes every day just to have like a good cry. And I said, so like you force yourself to cry? And he's like, like force is kind of like a strong word, but I intentionally cry. So yeah, I guess I force myself, but like, yeah, I intentionally cry. And I thought like that was so wild. And he was completely sincere about it. And again, like I said, I believed him. I was like, wow, that's wild that you do that. And it's not like it sounded far-fetched, but again, it was like, yeah, it seemed like he was being really truthful. It wasn't like, there was this guy one time, I as a waiter, I was on break. It was me, my pal Terry, and this other guy, and we're talking. Terry and I are talking about beverages. We're talking about soda, right? And this other waiter goes, I've never had Pepsi in my entire life. And I was like, oh, like you've never had, surely, I mean, you mean like you prefer Pepsi to Coke, but you don't drink Pepsi, but you drink Coke. He's like, yeah, I prefer Coke over Pepsi, and that's because I've never had Pepsi in my entire life. I would never drink that crap. And I was like, what? And Terry and I were like, what? You've never had Pepsi in your entire life? And he's like, I've never had Pepsi. And no, I've never had Pepsi. And so I tried to, like, I got caught up in like trying to catch him in his lie. And I was like, oh, so, well, they serve Pepsi at Burger King. You know what I mean? So sure, I'm sure you had Pepsi. He's like, I've never eaten a Burger King in my entire. I would never go into Burger King. And I was like, what? You've never been in the Burger King? I was like, everyone's been in Burger King. What are you talking about? And so it became like this running joke with Terry and I. I'd be like, I've never been in a car in my entire life. And Terry would be like, you've never been in a car? I was like, no, I've never been in a car. I almost got into a cab one time and I nearly vomited. So I never ever got in one. But no, I've never been in a car in my entire life. I skip to wherever I'm going. That's my only form of transportation, is skipping. And so anyway, so this is not the case with Rob. His seemed very, very sincere. So what I would like to do right now with the next 2 minutes or so is that I just want to use this. I just want to use this time. I just want to use this time to have a cry for like the next 2 minutes, and I can see that there's only one person watching. And I realize it might be indulgent to have a cry, but I'm not even like, I don't even really feel like crying, but I do feel like crying because I'm making a choice to cry, just like my friend Rob, and it feels cathartic, and it's fun, and if you don't like it, you should try it before you judge me. I'm not saying that you're judging me. I just went to a place where I guess to feel like anger coming up, and I regret that. I regret that there was any shred of anger in what I'm doing. It's not. I'm just manufacturing, and then I can't even get real tears that come out of my eyes, and I regret it. I have regrets, so sue me, but don't sue me, because I can't afford an attorney, so please don't sue me. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to watch me fake cry. Thank you so much.